I respect anyone who has their boundaries and respects their boundaries as artists. I'm really not one of those people that's like, I believe that you should say this or not say this or whatever. Whatever brings you peace, and if it's working for you and you have your demographic, like God love you. Like I don't really fuck with like telling people what to do in terms of that. But I forgot what I was gonna say. Where were we?
I wasn't even listening.
I'm fucking stoned, man.
I also just saw that for Catch Me If You Can, James Gandolfini was originally supposed to be cast for Tom Hanks' role.
That's sick.
That would have been a way better movie.
Sick.
That would have been way better. It was just conflicted with the Sopranos schedule.
You know what? I'm gonna say it. Tom Hanks is like kind of pissing me off these days. He's just everywhere. Too much, man. Doing too much. Too much Tom Hanks in this world.
Jeremy Renner.
Like he's a good guy. Don't get me wrong. But like this.
His son's dope though.
Chet? Shout out Chet, bro. I wish Chet did all his movies. Like, I wish Chet went back and remade all of his movies and did them all in Jamaican accent. Like, Forrest Gump with Chet Hanks doing the whole thing in a patois accent would be crazy, dude. Castaway, bro. That'd be so fitting.
Yo, these mic heads smell like shit, dude. Like, everyone smell your mic head right now.
Mine smells kind of great.
Yeah, mine's not bad.
Mine was in the box.
You got the bad one.
Mine kind of smells like a pool, like chlorine. I don't mind that.
Mine smells like a stale dart room, like that one room your aunt used to smoke cigarettes in but doesn't anymore.
My aunt's dead. But my uncle, he had a dart room.
I got myself into a bit of a fucking kerfuffle here.
Bit of a pickle?
Yeah, I got myself in quite a situation here.
Called a pickle.
Yeah. Friend reached out to me and he's like, "Hey man, my friend's boss is looking for a comedian to do like their office like show or office party." He's like, "They're paying." And I'm fucking broke as shit right now, and I'm like, I'll fucking do it. I'll do it. So I said yes, dude. And it's next Saturday. They want me to do a half hour.
That's more. Let the record know that half an hour is like 2 minutes longer than the total amount of time Racco spent on stage in his stand-up career.
Yeah.
Racco was a type
and that was
5
3 years
ready.
ago. That was 3 years ago.
Oh, this will be your first time
in 3 years.
No way.
And my first time doing it was like my first time doing it. Like I've literally done it like 3 times. You know.
How much material would you say time-wise?
That I have?
Yeah.
I haven't done anything. Like I have nothing right now. Like as of right now, I have nothing. I have shit that I've written down that's kind of funny, and I'm like, these could be cool jokes and shit like that. You guys want to hear one? Should I test one out on the pod?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.
I thought you were gonna test the window because it's for window.
Yeah, we got
cleaners.
some window cleaner jokes. They're not mine though. We just looked them up.
We worked out some.
Because it's a window cleaning company. So, like, I need some jokes about window cleaners. So John just Googled like window cleaning jokes. All right,
We found 3 killers though.
Okay,
Three killers.
we'll do those.
Yeah.
Okay. First one.
How do
you know what? Just first off, I love window cleaning jokes because they just work on so many levels.
Hell yeah.
All right.
No, it was good.
What do
I heard it last night.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
Oh, right. Yeah. Fuck, Phelan's here. Those are all for Coleman, I guess. Who's not a window cleaner.
What do you have written down?
What do I have written down?
Yeah. Do the window cleaning ones.
Okay, so the other two are
do it all.
how does a window cleaner talk to the dead?
How?
With a squeegee board. All right, that's good. He laughed. That's good.
That's a good one.
All right, last one.
It was the delivery was good.
Should I just do like the Mike Myers, like the Austin Powers fucking? And the last one is how does an alcoholic window cleaner clean their windows? What do they clean their windows with? Sorry,
What?
alcoholic window cleaner. Smirnoff.
So if you guys have any window cleaning friends, there's a couple ditties you can tell them. No, ditties
Oh,
are
man.
songs, right?
Ditties?
Yeah, ditties.
Diddy's a fucking mogul in the music industry.
Ditties are songs.
Ditties are songs, right? I just tell
Titties?
them those jokes, son.
Titties? That's all I got.
That's what Rocco's written down. It's just Diddy sounds like titties.
Do you know what's even
Diddy sounds like Diddy. You know what a Diddy is? Why would they make a word that's so close to titties? Oh my god,
that was awesome. No, the best was that the thing is like for the past 2 years too, is we've wanted our windows cleaned here. And we've thought of a bunch of ways. Like I've heard, this is a direct quote from him, actually. This is what Jacob Bracco has said this. We need a long rope so that,
well, I don't remember this.
so that we can keep ourselves tied up and walk along that ledge to clean, because we're on the second floor. To walk across the sign, the top of the sign for the store below us. He wants a rope to tie himself into the studio so he could walk out on this fucking narrow ledge to clean our windows. Yeah. For 2 years, this is something he said maybe a handful of times. But for the first time ever, he's in a place where he can make a part of his payment cleaning our windows. And
I know, I should throw that in when I get there. Depends how it goes. If it goes well at the end, I'll be like, yo, as a tip, you guys want to come clean our windows?
Yeah.
But it's funny because I did call a window cleaner in like fucking April. And then they never got back to me. So I got a phone call and he's like, hi, it's AJ from so-and-so windows cleaning. I'm like, oh yeah. Like, now you call? Like, what the fuck, man? He's like, I don't need my windows cleaned now. And he's like, no, I'm calling about the comedian. And I was like, oh. 1 second.
I do also need
a tight half hour. Yeah, I got that for sure.
Originally he was like, can you do an hour? And I was like,
Ooh.
no, I can't.
Yeah. Do you guys actually want to hear a joke?
Yeah.
Or should we just, or because John's going to come film me do it. So you guys will all see it at some point.
Yeah, I'm trying
you guys
to be
gonna
there.
see it.
All right.
Yeah, I got to get into my fucking thing here, you know.
We
We got a
can
save
podcast
it.
to record.
Yeah.
We can save it.
Like, follow, subscribe. Like, follow, subscribe. When I remember it, I say it.
That sounds like a jump cut. Like, people are going to watch this back and be like, yo, what did they say? Did they say something fuck? Like, why did they just cut to that? Like, did he say the joke and it bombed or something? Like, that was a hard fucking transition.
No, he didn't. I just fucking... that.
Like, follow, subscribe. Like, what?
We always forget to say it. I just figured it was in my head. I may as well say it before we forgot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Seriously, though, guys, if you don't want me to fucking embarrass myself in front of dozens of people and take on gigs that I have no business taking on, like, follow and subscribe so we can make money through this. You know?
Dozens of window washers. How many window washers do you think will be there?
That's the thing. I think it'll be like 5 window washers and then a bunch of people that are in like accounting, marketing, like HR.
Now you need to look up corporate jokes.
I know.
Window cleaners brackets corporate jokes.
Oh man. All right, we got a good show for you guys today.
Yep.
The guest this week, Eva Alexo, shout out. Montreal comedian. She has her own show that she runs called The Kickback. It's fucking sick.
It is cool.
Bring your own beer, bring your own weed. They do free shot. They give you 1 free shot at the start of the show. She brought it to Ottawa. It was dope. I went and checked it out at the Laugh Lounge. Had her on the show. It was a good time.
Go get like fucking hammered and laugh a lot if you're a lightweight. 1 shot's all you need, right?
Yeah.
You should bring a bottle to your window cleaner gig just to lighten the mood.
Yeah.
You should take a shot every time a joke doesn't go well.
Yeah. That's actually a good idea.
Yeah. And then
Until I get alcohol poisoning.
until you puke at minute 22.
There's a bunch of cleaners in the building.
Yeah, dude. You're gonna kill it, bro.
Just aim for
You're
the
gonna
windows.
kill it, bro. You're
You're
gonna kill
gonna
it.
do well. Don't worry about it.
All right, Backpage news. Let's get into it. Can we do the second headline first? Actually, that was my one request. And then, Backpage news. Let's get into it.
Request.
First headline we got reads.
Dud. European Union's $500,000 Metaverse Party attracts 6 guests.
Tough. So it was an online party?
Yeah.
Yeah, a
It took
virtual
place in the
party
metaverse.
in the metaverse.
Okay.
I don't know if this is like the Facebook Meta branded metaverse,
Right.
or if there's just were trying to make their own.
Just off-brand meta.
Yeah, I assume that it's anything referring to the metaverse is like the company Meta
Right.
made it, and then the EU was like, fuck yeah, dude, we'll get on board. And then
That's what all the kids
So-
are doing
Yeah,
these
yeah,
days.
for sure.
Yeah, all the kids are into this. How do you get there?
the youths.
I don't know how to get to the metaverse.
I think you have to pop on a
You
Oculus
just-
Rift.
They
or
don't want
something.
you to know.
Yeah,
specifically.
I don't
You
think
need a
I
VR
did. I don't
headset.
think I belong in the
They're
metaverse.
gatekeeping.
Yeah, exactly. I'm either way too advanced or so far behind that there's just no chance I ever make it to the meta, man. I'll either see you in the next thing or never. But that's it.
Apparently, there was an online post about it, and only 44 people liked the post. So there was warning signs. This is like back in the day when we used to throw parties at our student house,
Yeah.
and like, dude, I remember one time we threw a beer pong tournament party because we're fucking, I don't know, we're in a frat phase, but
Anyway,
We wanted to be a frat so bad, but just
and
didn't want to do the charity work.
we threw a beer pong tournament event, and we went ham on it. We bought a fucking like Texas size Mickey or some shit as like the main prize for the winner. We had 2 tables set up. John drew. He's a great artist, by the way. Shout out to John.
Good whiteboard artist.
Yeah, he's a good whiteboard
artist.
He drew like the Carlton Ravens logo in the middle and had like a whole ass bracket laid out. Like we're expecting 64 people are gonna pull up and like have teams ready to go. Dude, it was 12 at midnight. No one showed up. No one showed up, and we're just like huddling in a conference in our neighbor's house. We can't even be in our house. Like we can't even be in our own house right now. We're that fucking pathetic. We're in our neighbor's house in a little conference, and we're like, dude, fuck it. Like, let's just go out. Let's act like this never happened. Whatever. We go back to our house. We're literally about to call Ubers just to go out downtown. The door opens. 50 people walk in at once.
Hey.
50 people walk in at once. And it ended up being the fucking sickest party ever because, you know, it was sick.
I remember one time for a panda party, we
Oh, yeah.
fucking
That was bad.
gutted the whole house, bro. Got everything
Couches
out of,
gone,
everything out of
tables
there.
gone.
Fucking cleaned it like spotless so that we would just mitigate the amount of damage we have to deal with the next day. And then we had a big glass front door, and what did we do but put black garbage bags all
To
on
cover
the front,
it.
cover the door so like no
Because
one
we got
could
dinged the year before.
Yeah.
We had a huge panda party the year before, and cops were like, yeah, we can see it from the street that there's like a massive
So we
party
were like,
going on.
we
So like,
got
all right, let's cover it
fucking
next
idiots.
year. You know?
They won't. If they can't see it, they definitely won't hear it. And then it's like again 12 o'clock, and we're like, dude, we literally had a huge party the year before, and then we're like, fuck, no one came this year. And one of our neighbors comes over, and they're like, are you guys having this fucking party? Because there's 50 people at our house right now. And they didn't know that you're fucking... They thought, like, they got to 128A, and then they were like, oh, it must be 126A because there's no fucking lights on at 128A because we blacked out the fucking door. And, like, and then we were like, yeah. And then, again, 50 people walked in at one time.
Did it not work though? Because that was my idea. I'm going to the grave that was a good fucking
It was a
idea.
good
I'm
idea.
dying on that hill. The garbage.
good
We
idea.
ended up still getting a ticket that night.
Yeah.
But it was a good idea. It worked.
It worked. It outsmarted. It smarted.
So first of all, hang on.
It outsmarted 50 fucking 20-year-olds who had been drinking since 9 a.m. But damn, like if
Bar
only.
is low.
Yeah, exactly. But the bylaw saw right through it.
So your
dude.
criteria for it working was the cops won't be able to see in, and the cops noticed, and also
No, we still got. It's not because the cops noticed. Because we still got a phone complaint.
okay.
Noise
Yeah,
complaint.
yeah. Noise complaint. Yeah.
Phelan's
We got a
familiar.
phone complaint.
Oh,
Everyone's
I'm
on their
familiar.
fucking phones at this party.
I'm familiar.
Yeah. Anyways, back to the story. No, it's just funny because we've all been there. You know what I mean? And Coleman just had a party at my house.
It's true.
It was a good time, bro.
It was
I had a
good.
sick time. It was like all of Coleman's friends that are like
Yeah.
D&D guys.
Dude, when
Birthday party.
D&D got brought up, and then it didn't like get stopped talking about. Like it was, I said something about D&D at like
I'm pretty sure it was
10:40.
John.
I
Like,
brought it
John
up. No, I brought it up.
You're
I
the
brought
one
it
who
up at
perpetuated
10:45, and then
because he was
I
looking at the
left-
crowd and he's like, "What to talk about?"
Yeah, literally. Well, I wanted, but we're gonna.
Feeks was killing it.
Feeks
though.
was
So
killing it.
they're not only
Feeks was
D&D
ki-
guys.
Feeks
They're like
was
Discord
Feeks got so
gamer.
many numbers of your guy friends at your party.
But long story short, we're gonna do a D&D campaign.
Yeah,
We're starting the new year. Coleman's our DM.
our master.
Master Coleman.
Awful.
And yeah. We're like picking characters right now.
Master Seaman.
I'm debating being a barber whose like backstory was that his whole family was barbers.
Yeah.
And I never got accepted into the family, and I just wanted to be the best barber.
The guild.
The guild.
It was the guild.
It was the
You
guild.
couldn't be a family. It had to be a guild.
So I like ran into the forest, like punching the air, fucking
Hot rod style.
yeah, hot rod, Andy Samberg, pissed off style.
Footloose. Like
and I
in
run
the
into
warehouse.
I run into like a Darth Lord or Dark Elf or something like that.
Darth Lord. Coleman, what did I run into again?
I run into something mystical, and he gives me like Edward Scissorhands types powers. So I'm just the most badass like fucking hairdresser in the world. And then I'm too good for the guild. So then they shun me because of that now, and that's my like villain arc. And then that's one of the characters I'm thinking of.
We're workshopping it.
One
We're
of the
workshopping
one
it.
that you thought of for like.
No, I was thinking about what was the other one I was thinking about?
That one where
The man that turns it like that is every time he kills a person.
Well, I'm a centaur, but every
Yeah,
time
yeah.
I kill someone, I become less man and more horse.
And then John's character is he's a man, but every time he kills someone, he gets more attracted to horses.
You guys want to say something?
That's the reason they couldn't be a real frat, because they couldn't obey by the incest laws.
That was a loop. We're gonna do it loophole style too, like through D&D.
Yeah? What does that mean? You guys are just gonna fuck in real life or what?
No, we're gonna do it in D&D. That's a loophole.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I
Exactly. It's
understand.
make believe. It's not even real.
Moral of the story.
Just role playing.
Moral of the story: more people showed up to Coleman's birthday party than they did to this Metaverse party that they spent $500K on.
I spent $0 on
Right?
my party.
Yeah, zero
And
marketing dollars.
You didn't even buy those chips? There were a hella chips.
Oh,
at
I
your
did buy
party.
some chips.
Yeah.
Somebody bought. I think it was Will. He just brought like a big.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You
Creative
can't supply
chips.
chips in the metaverse.
Coleman
Yeah,
had one
facts.
friend that showed up an hour before the party started, and I opened my door, and I'm like, "Oh, hey!" And he just comes in, and we chilled for like an hour, and then he left like 3 hours after everyone left.
Nice.
He's just liking the vibes, man. You
Not
guys put it
even.
on for him. Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say it. Is that okay?
Yeah. That's fine.
We won't say the name, but you know.
He just did.
I did,
We'll
but
bleep
it's
it out.
cool, it's
Worst
cool.
case,
Yeah.
but
Fuck you,
so this
Will.
guy.
We all love to see you, Will. It was great to have you at the party.
So this guy Will.
You're just a bit of a stone bag, and you did some funny things. So we're gonna talk about it now. I hope that's okay.
So after everyone left, he's still kicking it, and I'm like, hey, I gotta start cleaning up here. Like, so I'm cleaning up the party and shit like that. And I think he kind of like felt like I was just a little pissed off because I'm cleaning up after a party, whatever. And he's like, hey man, like, did you have a good night? And I was like, yeah, no man, I had a great night. Like, it was a good time, you know, Coleman's friends, and I had a lot of fun. And I was like, how about you? Did you have a good night? And he was like, eh. And then fucking plops down on the couch and sparks a joint and just sits there and smokes it.
For another hour.
I'm just like,
The best part was like you telling me that like you were dropping mad hints like, oh man, it's getting late, like, oh dude, you calling an Uber soon? Like you kept throwing those in, but Feeks, like your roommate, who was also, he'd come in and be like, oh Will, good to see you're still here, man, get comfy, like
and
relax.
then Feeks would leave to take out the garbage, and I'd be like, should probably get an Uber. And then Feeks would come back in the house, and he's like, man, let's fucking kick it. Let's play some Battlefront or
Good
something.
cop, bad cop.
Like, it's like surge charges are getting probably pretty bad around this time.
Sunday night.
Next headline.
Yeah, we didn't talk about this at all.
I like
but-
that I checked my watch about Uber surge charges. Yeah, surge charge getting late about this.
No, it's fun. Thanks everyone for coming. I appreciate
It was a good
you
time.
guys.
It was a good
fucking
time.
time.
I would do that again in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
it was
baked
a-
as shit.
it was
I found
a
a joint on the floor. That's always awesome.
Bro,
That's a
my
good
friend
story,
was looking
actually.
at that
Dude,
joint,
that was so joke. That
looking
was
for
one
that
of my
joint for like literally like the majority of the time he was there. He was like fucking pulling apart the couch.
Dude, I was in the middle of this part. I was like standing. I was having a conversation. I was like, joint on the floor. Like, grabbed it. And
Like it was a fucking grenade, and he was like,
literally grabbed it, was smoking it, had it almost down to the end, and then I hear from behind me, but he's like, "Where's my fucking joint?" And I'm like, "Oh, there's another joint to be found." Like, oh, this is sick, dude. I was like, "Here, hold this one." He's like, "I don't want that one." I was like, "He's like, I want to find mine." I was like, "Oh, I'll help you." He's like,
I'll help you.
"I'll help you." He's like, I was like, "What does it look like?" He's like, or I was like, "Is it like a small one?"
Does it look like this one?
Yeah. I was like, wait, were they small, like little short dispensary joints? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh, dude. I was like, I just smoked that whole thing.
The one you offered me?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
It's like offering someone a joint that you stole from them is like, yeah, same energy as
That's
when I was
funny.
feeding that chicken strips.
All right, next story. Next headline we got. You're fucked. Next headline we got reads.
Delaware man sentenced for joining U.S. Capitol riots while on Tinder date.
This is fucking hilarious.
This
dude.
is funny.
So-
Sorry.
No,
you do
No,
it.
please.
No.
Oh.
I insist.
Well, just everyone's wondering, like, did the Tinder date go with him to the riot? No, unfortunately not. That's what I was hoping for too.
Unfortunately not.
Not a love story.
So now I'm just kind of picturing like it's like a house date. It's a Tinder date, so you're going to hang out, and then so she comes over, or he goes to her place, and they're just sitting on the couch, and he's like watching fucking. She's like, she's got like CNN on, and he's like, ugh. Off to a bad start.
Yeah, why is the news on your TV?
Do you think he's like,
It's a rough dinner
Yeah,
day.
what the fuck?
Because it specifies that he saw they were going on TV, and then
Yeah.
it was like, all right, I'm going. But like,
Yeah, I guess I
not
should've
on your
said that.
phone, not on Twitter,
Yeah,
not you're
it was
just
on the
watching
TV.
the news on the television
She must live with her parents
to get
or
in the
something.
mood.
Yeah.
What's going on, girl? You want to come
he's
back
like
to mine
he's
and
like
watch the
rubbing her
news?
thigh and she just throws on CNN. Like that's fucking crazy, dude.
But I just picture them sitting on the couch together, and they're like doing coverage of the fucking Capitol Hill riots, and he's like, "Fuck!" and then just fucking gets off his like chair and just
Shit, I
darts.
knew I had something going on today.
That was today,
Surge charges are crazy right now.
babe. Let's go.
Anyways, he hopped in an Uber 20 minutes later. He's at the Capitol building.
Puts on a cape.
And then a little bit later, he's got 3 additional charges against him.
Did anyone go to the Capitol Hill riots except for John and not get charged?
I think
Not only didn't I not get charged, I made it back into Canada.
Just in time for the Freedom Convoy.
yeah, perfect,
Just
perfect
in
timing.
Seriously,
I
did
think-
anyone not get arrested?
I think it would
A bunch of people got arrested.
no, but did anyone not get arrested?
Yeah, the people
so I'm
who
asking.
I
like
think if
hid
you
them.
went in the building, you got. But I think if you stayed outside and like didn't hit any cops or anything like that, I think
Right,
you were
right.
probably
You were protesting at that. You were still protesting at that
I don't.
point.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just don't have the resources to like
I
go
just-
after everyone all at once. So maybe they'll get to like the lower stages of
Dude,
like
that
the
would
trespassing. and
suck
shit
if it's like
later.
2025 and you're
Yeah.
getting fucking
Yeah.
charged for that shit.
What's
I
the
just-
statute of
I
limitations?
don't
of
understand how
smoking
like
a joint on the White House lawn or the Capitol lawn.
I just don't understand how like because like there's a lot of stories coming out about like people killing themselves after like storming the Capitol building. Like people
Because
would
I thought they'd get arrested.
yeah, because like they were like, fuck, the FBI is gonna hunt me down now because I shit in Nancy Pelosi's like garbage can. You know what I mean? Like, you did
'Cause I
something
left
so
DNA.
fucking yeah, yeah. I put her toothbrush in my ass, man.
It was a freedom shit.
Good reference, dude. If you know, you know.
Why would you put his whole bathroom in your ass?
I didn't know I had DNA in my butt.
You're lying. You know there's DNA in your butt.
I didn't.
You just like shoving shit in your ass, you fucking pervert.
We are lawyering up, man. That's it.
Are there gonna be? Is January 6th just gonna be a thing now where people do that?
Every year.
You know what I mean? Like, is that
I
is that
think-
a fear that they have?
I mean, I don't think they'll let it get to that point.
'Cause
I
I mean-
think it's kind of like the Freedom Convoy where like Wellington Street is still blocked off.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
are stressed about that shit happening again.
It's kind of bullshit.
So and also
because it only takes like 4 fucking 18-wheelers with their e-brake on to
Yeah.
start fuck shit up again, dude.
I hate how that street's still closed though, because it
Yeah.
fucks
so
everything
annoying.
up.
but I think they're probably worried about it for the Capitol, but like I think
it fucks everything up traffic wise.
God damn it, Wellington Street! Why can I not drive on you? I don't even have a car. But I
Yeah.
will soon, and I really want to drive on you.
I think they still have fences and barriers around the Capitol.
Yeah, like
Oh, really?
But
I
I
thought
think
that
it
was
would
construction.
take like somebody like Trump or somebody like Trump to like get it fucking.
Because he
going
might get
again.
back in.
It's possible.
Or at
He's
the
in
very
trouble
worst,
right
he's
now,
still
though.
going to run. And then if he loses.
Oh, he's running.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I've been hearing rumblings on the channels I'm on that
On my Parlor
I
channels.
saw on
Telegram
Six Buzz
group.
that there might be a Freedom Convoy 2.0.
Yeah, that's where I saw it too. Dude, Six Buzz is doing fucking real reporting these days. Shout
Yeah.
out Six Buzz.
I'm kind of excited because John and I get to make another banger of a video if it happens.
Dude,
We'll link that.
I'm not
That
gonna
was a good
lie.
video.
Like I didn't like the convoy, but like I enjoyed what came of it.
The
So
amount
I'm
of
not gonna-
content.
Yeah, like it was
Dude.
so funny. I loved how
Dude.
I loved how the city smelled like hot dogs and burgers when you'd walk through
It
the
smelled
streets.
like gasoline. Let's not kid ourselves. It smelled like ass.
I don't mind
Yeah,
that.
it didn't smell
smell
that good.
that good.
From a purely like cynical content perspective, that shit was funny.
Yeah.
So
But it's
jokes, bro.
Just everything that it represented was just like,
I just
fuck.
the
It's
foreign.
unfortunate that it doesn't happen every week. The amount of views
Yeah.
Yeah,
to the moon.
I like how they're treating it like a holiday, though.
yeah.
They're like, back when it's January, we're going back. That whole warm summer. where
Yeah,
they
that's what
could've,
I didn't
like-
understand. They're like doing 2.0. I'm like, why are you not doing it? in
No, get the fucking
July?
Carhartts and snowmobiling suits out, fellas. That's all it was. It was just a sea of fucking Carhartt and beards down to here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It was
Like,
and it, like
Middleton, Nova Scotia.
they were so hyped to just like be in Ottawa. Nobody's ever been like so hyped to be in this city ever.
I've ever been.
Yeah, like this is the fucking capital. Hell yeah. It's like
best was-
nobody's ever been that excited.
The best was interviewing people.
What do you call this? Shawarma?
Dude, weed stores everywhere.
The best part was like just last thing about it. We'll move on. But like I just thought it was funny. Like whenever we would interview people, we just point the mic at them, like, and like they'd all be like, "Oh man, I don't want to get into it, man. Whatever." And then 5 minutes later, they're just like, "Fucking communist bullshit." that they're fucking instilling in all of their brains, and it was just like, did you put a mic in someone's face and just hold it there?
The one guy who
That's the
shouted,
number one rule of journalism.
the one guy who shouted out Vladimir Putin was my favorite.
Yeah.
Good leader. Good leader. Good leader.
That aged well.
What was his name? Terry, the guy with the balls. Guy that had his ball sack out, basically.
Oh,
Oh,
the Barry.
fuck.
No, the
Barry something.
naked man from Barry.
No,
Nah.
yeah, it was like Barry no clothes or something.
Something like
was
that.
it?
Something like that. I don't know. Watch the video. We
gotta-
will
we gotta
link
click
it.
it.
Yeah, we will link
Throw
it.
'em in.
All right, next headline.
Perfect. I wonder what happened to the Tinder date. I really do, though.
Yeah.
From this story.
You know, we can still talk about this.
How much jail time is he getting?
A little bit.
Oh, his defense was that he was manipulated
Hmm.
by
Which-
lies about the legitimacy of the election.
To be fair. Said he stayed in the Capitol building for about 28 minutes.
20. Did you have a fucking
About-
timer? Like,
About 28 minutes.
why don't you just say about a half hour?
Yeah, but it doesn't. Yeah, there's no real follow up. 30 days in jail in order to pay $2,000 fine.
You know those like Jimmy Fallon hashtag,
Oh, there it is.
like those hashtag like social media just engagement stuff they do on the Tonight Show. You guys ever see those?
Mhm.
Like hashtag worst date ever. Someone fucking you can post this. No one's topping this. No one's unless like I don't know. We talked about a story where like someone was on a date and then the guy that was on the date with the girl like was in the middle of a crime and it was like a fucking like he was in the middle of a chase or something and then the cops ended up chasing them down and that was her first date with this guy. I mean, it's very tough to beat this.
We need to send a letter to the editor for the Guardian because I want to hear what the girl has to say.
Yeah, you know what? This is kind of bullshit because it
Or
seems like just
the
a
partner,
fucking excuse
whoever
for
they
them to do another article about the fucking
Yeah.
Capitol riot instead of talking like the headline's just Tinder date and then they don't even fucking talk about the Tinder date in
They
the
didn't
story.
talk
They just
to
it's
the
just an
date.
excuse to.
I want
like-
to know what she looks like.
Like, what did she have planned for this date?
Right.
You know, like how bad.
Why
was
was
it
the
going?
news on?
Yeah, I need to know. It starts
CNN
weird and then got weirder.
Yeah.
So where is the follow up?
CNN and chill.
Newsmax and chill.
Infowars and
new Kanye interview just dropped.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah,
Dude.
next headline.
Ah.
Thai monks failed drug tests, leaving a temple empty. So 4 monks, including an abbot. What's right, Coleman? An abbot?
Abbott.
What's that mean again?
Big monk.
Big monk.
The abbot.
The monk.
the OG monk.
I think it's just like
The boss
the head
monk.
of the temple,
Right. Well, they're all high on meth.
allegedly.
I didn't realize that. Like I don't know. I feel like you shouldn't be able to drug test a monk.
Yeah, weird. Like, what organization is?
That's a good point.
Right?
Is like mandating these drug tests?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
The government.
yeah. Is it like a government oversight committee? Just like no monks on meth.
Yeah, like
committee, or
like
is it like
a Mothers Against Monks on Meth type of deal?
Right,
You know
ma'am.
what I mean? Yeah, ma'am, or something like that. Yeah, I don't know, ma'am.
No, there's a huge drug trafficking, I guess, crackdown in Thailand right now. Yeah, so they're going to the monks. It seems
nobody's safe?
Apparently, I read in this story that you can buy meth pills for 50 cents there.
You know, you can get a pack of cigarettes in Vietnam for $1.
Yeah, dude. And a meth pill for, like, think about that. That's a whole evening. A pack of cigarettes and meth pill. Like, I imagine that cigarette prices in Thailand are much the same.
Yeah, probably.
most places, frankly,
Dude,
compared to Canada.
We're very cultured.
Thailand's like tourism industry just like survives on 50-cent meth pills, dollar packs of cigarettes, and ladyboys.
And the beautiful, thriving culture and architecture
of course.
and history, just to
Pad
be clear.
Thai too. Pad Thai's good as fuck.
And art painted by elephants.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad went to Thailand, has a painting of that an elephant painted.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Did they
no
treat
way.
the elephant well? Do you think that animal was treated humanely and kept, like, you know what I mean?
He's an artist, man. He's living a bohemian lifestyle.
The elephant's just smoking cigarettes
Yeah.
as you walk.
His trunk.
He's got a beret on.
Yeah, beret.
He's got his easel on the sidewalk.
He speaks French for some reason.
I wonder what like meditating and like doing like Buddhist religious practices would be like if you're on.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
that's
it's
a
not
good
even
point.
like
Because
a
isn't it like I mean
I thought it
I'm
was a
speaking
very
from ignorance,
tranquil,
but yeah, very
like,
serene
Zen.
experience.
Yeah.
All of those synonyms.
All I know about monks is that they don't accept gifts,
Right.
and they don't eat much. That's all I know. That's what I learned in world religion. in
Yeah,
grade 11.
I thought like, and for some reason, I picture them living in mountains.
Oh, and they're all bald. I don't know if they're all.
bald too. Are there monks in Canada?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I met some monks in Prince Edward Island before.
Monks
It was
everywhere.
pretty cool.
Get out.
Were you gonna? Were you like?
Did you know I'd never met a Jewish person until I was 18 years old?
Jesus Christ.
That's crazy, right?
That I mean, yeah.
There's no
Not
Jewish
really
people
for
in-
you,
No,
but
never
Nova
met
Scotia?
never met a Jewish person until I was 18 years old when I was on a
Remember when I
trip.
thought you were Jewish? Like genuinely, like it started off as a joke, but I was like, you're actually Jewish,
Yeah.
right? Like you have to be.
Yeah,
Keep in mind, John used to have a wicked fro.
Yeah, I
like
did.
a wicked, you know what fro.
If that's what we're basing it off of, come on.
Also, your name. I remember we looked it up on Ancestry.com, and there's Jewish roots. To Balser.
Hebrew is like 2% from Balser is like a 2% tie back to Hebrew origins. It wasn't much, but it was enough to make all of my roommates think I was a Jew.
I'm more Jew than you. My name, Jacob.
Jacob?
It's a Jew name.
Is it?
It's in the Bible.
Isn't John in the Bible too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Is Kermit in the Bible? Kermit. I don't know anything else. You're right.
But no, Buddhists they don't accept gifts in that they don't. The idea is to get rid of all desire.
That's right. They don't
They'll
even
still
fucking-
take
They don't
free
even
shit,
jerk
though.
off, right?
No,
Don't even
no,
drink.
God no.
God no. Dude, their balls must be fucking cojones. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
It's a weird line.
That's
Rocco
where we're
keeps
gonna-
fucking veering off.
That's where we're gonna go with this. Okay.
I don't know. I told you guys when it comes to religion, I don't have much to
I get weird about it. I don't know. Religion and death. I don't know what to say, man. Like, come on.
But yeah,
Yeah, these guys' balls must be big, right? I
remember when I was in high school, my veteran on the football team,
Right.
the high school football team, he made all of us watch this video of a Mormon jerking off.
what the
Yeah, it's
fuck
pretty
are you
fucked up.
talking about? Do you
I'm
need
talking
to file
about a real
police
life
report?
experience.
Hey, yo.
This is a real life experience.
Catholic school is crazy, bro.
It was a video of a Mormon jerking off for the first time.
Aquaman. Jason Momoa.
Barnacle Boy was there. It was a whole thing. But dude, his balls
No.
were like massive. And then when he
some more context,
like he was
Yeah, I need just a little bit
Throw
more.
it on the projector during film, or like what? Like, what's
going on?
Yeah, like, what the fuck are you talking
Come to
about?
his
Did he
cubby
just
in the
whip out
locker.
his-
No, it was during it was kind of like that actually. So like, he was like boys, we need to watch this. Fuck. It was kind of on the along the lines of film. It was like guys, you guys need to see this for the made it like a whole football thing. It was like during lunch. We were all at the cafeteria, like at the table sitting there, and he just fucking throws the phone on the table. We're all looking
It
at
slides across.
it. We're just looking at it. It was this Mormon with huge balls, massive balls, because he's never jerked ever. And then he fucking chokes the chicken a bit, and then he unleashes one, and his balls just shrink into like normal size. So that's why
an
I was
image-
saying his balls must be huge. I've fucking seen it.
That
Do you
reminds
need to,
me
like,
of this
tell
one.
somebody else about this, or is this the first
I
time you're...
haven't thought about it till now.
Dude, that's honestly just
I can only get hard now if I see massive balls.
blocked off memory.
I don't know why you're volunteering all
put
this
his head
stuff,
down
man.
after that one. Yeah, that was fucked. That was fucked. Good thing your mom too just listened to last week's episode.
We're cutting this one.
No, we're not.
Certainly not.
We're
brother.
talking. Okay, we're
Certainly
cutting
not.
it. Then I can talk about a story about a video that I know of someone jerking off. But it was
We're not
this one
cutting.
that got. There's this one that got like that was always back in the like when I was in high school. But it was this video of this guy, this homeless guy, it looked like sitting on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, just jerking. Like just against a building, just jerking. And then the video point of view is this guy walking his dog, and as he like pans or walks past this guy, the homeless guy just looks at him and goes, "Oh hey, how you doing?" And that's the whole video. And it took my friend group by storm. We never would see each other. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Like,
That's so funny.
that's it, I
I
guess.
have another funny story about a homeless guy jerking off, but I actually want that one to make the podcast.
Okay,
Because
okay.
we're cutting this,
Yeah,
clearly.
okay.
We're not cutting this.
Let's just move on to the next story.
Oh, I do the edits, buddy.
Raw, uncut humor. What happened to that?
Nobody's
on-
safe,
this-
including that guy who
Okay.
showed you porn at school.
Shout out.
Definition of
Next headline reads.
what was the guy's name?
Well, you guys make it seem fucked, so I don't want to say his name.
No, I
now.
don't think it's that fucked. I think that's just dudes being dudes.
Yeah,
right?
you're right.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
normal
You
shit.
The guy's married now, eh?
No way.
Yeah.
Let's go.
With children. He's a Mormon.
Thanks for tuning into the Backpage News, everyone. Again, like, follow, subscribe. And yeah, we got Eva Alexo coming up. Good episode. I had a good time with her. It was good.
Eva Alexo. I don't even know what her real name is.
It's Eva, but you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. She's on now.
She'll understand.
It's a dope episode.
In
The Kickback.
5, 4.
Boys, hi. We're good. We
You
got
a little
this.
too stoned?
I'm ready to get toke before the show.
I had to fight for it too. It was one of those ones where you're ripping it. It's like, and then all of a sudden it goes, and you go, and it fucking kills.
You're
you.
like, and now that was the beginning of the
And
end.
now, and like I'm like leaning out the window like, and all the people in the ramen line are like, what's going on?
I hate when I blow tokes out the
Oh,
window and people
dude.
catch me. It's just like,
Because we like live above the most like popular ramen restaurant in the entire world.
yeah.
What?
Best
Yeah.
ramen in the world's in Ottawa.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah.
Are we gonna go eat it after?
We could,
Yeah.
we could.
If the lineup's not too fucking long.
Yeah,
What's so special? What is it? What's
I
it
don't
called?
know. Senso Thai ramen.
That's
Yeah.
really good for your publicity.
Yeah, I shouldn't have.
They
As,
should be
as I was like,
sponsoring
I
you.
got to Thai and I was like, fuck, now like free air, like
So
free
like,
ads.
what makes it so special?
I don't know. Like I had it once and it was good, but like
Good, not great.
yeah, it was all right. I think there's also a super long line because there's like 5 tables in there.
Okay, conspiracy theory, or that might not even be the right word, most probably. But I have a feeling that I'm gonna get so much hate for this. I have a feeling that this place is probably the equivalent to like Schwartz in Montreal.
Okay,
Like the
not
smoked
familiar.
like the smoked meat restaurant that's like
Okay.
world famous and like people wait in line for hours around the curve.
Right.
It's like meat and mustard and bread. I mean, it's there, but I like
Yeah.
people wait in line for hours. Like they come around the world.
Like, do you know how much better food you could get than just like a $40 bowl of noodles? You know what I mean? Like that's just not worth it.
Yeah, soup shouldn't be over $10.
It's $40 soup.
It's
No, I
like,
don't know.
Yeah, it's pricey though. for
30
sure.
would have been like the better estimate to
Yeah.
say. I was boosting.
For soup.
You had a brave breakfast though. Like you're texting me like, oh, I just had like cold pizza and a coffee.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was rough.
Like
And
just
there was,
hearing
like-
I
that
had
makes
a
me wanna
cold
shit my
coffee and a
pants. That's-
pizza.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
why do you think I'm
got
late?
me. Milano's got me this morning. I woke up, there was like 2 dried up fried shrimp like next to the bed and like a water bottle. And apparently Micah this morning was like, "You're such a piece of shit last night." And I was, for sure, because I was drunk and tired. And I was having none of it. Like he gave me pizza and like too many shrimp. And I was like, "No, look, go away. I don't want this anymore." He's like, "You fought me for Milano's." And I was like, "Yeah, but I'm sleeping."
You bought fried shrimp at Milano's?
I was trying to tell him go for the fried cheese curds because I love the fried cheese curds at Milano's, but he was like fried shrimp, and it's because he's from the South, so his Southern boy just like could not help it.
Yeah, you guys got gumbo here. Y'all got gumbo.
Run, Forrest, run.
But yeah, we got Eva Alexo here on the show. We should probably introduce you at some point.
Is it Eva? Is it Eva or Eva?
It's like whatever. It's Eva. Like I don't know. I'm from Quebec, so people just butcher my name all the time, and
I got that all because my last name's Racco, and everyone just calls me by my last name. But people call me Rocco for the longest time. I didn't even pick up onto it. Like other people, are like, yo, you fucking cool with that, bro? Like they're pronouncing your name wrong. I was like, dude, as long as people even acknowledge me, I'm cool.
right. I'm just
As long
like
as people give me pets, I'm good.
Well, no, like my full name, like I'm Greek and Brazilian, but my full name is Evangelia, but like no one could pronounce
That's
that.
heavenly.
That it is. It actually means bringer of good news in Greek. So
Oh.
then it's like Leila Maria Alexopoulos. So I couldn't do
Man,
that
substitute teachers must have fucked that up.
for my whole life, man. One guy used to call me Evangelina's penis. Yeah, or Eva Angelina, like
A
the
teacher?
porn star. No, imagine. Or Eva Angelina, like the porn star. Or there was Tits McGee. That was my high school names growing up.
Everyone called me
Same actually. That one.
Everyone called me Ellen DeGeneres just because I had short hair at the time. Not gonna lie, I did kind of look like Ellen DeGeneres. Like,
Not gonna lie,
I
you
leaned it-
kind of look like Ellen DeGeneres and Portia.
We should
And
put
like
their
just like a
face-
hint of Casey Neistat.
But yeah, Eva.
Fuck
or
yeah. I was like, who? No, no.
I don't appreciate that.
You are the co-creator of the
Yes.
Kickback, which is a comedy show that started in Montreal. You brought it to Ottawa. We were there last night.
Yeah.
But you co-created it with Mika, and he couldn't make it because he has to DJ a Montreal Canadiens game. So
I'm proud of him.
fucking not a big deal, I guess.
Oh man, if you only knew where we came from though, even when we first met him, it was like during COVID, and I had quit comedy for like 3 years. I was like done. Like,
Damn.
Yeah. I got to a point like I only really got into comedy to be like I don't want to die without trying it. Like
Right.
whatever. And I got to a point in like 2017 where I did Gotham. And I was like, okay, cool. Like I proved to myself I can do it. But like my family life was shit. Like a lot of stuff was going on. And I was like, if I don't leave Canada, like super, super duper soon, like this can't be what 25 looks like. Like there's no way. We had a lot of stuff going on in my family. So I was like, okay, if I'm meant to come back to comedy, I'll come back to comedy and like it'll happen. But I gotta go. So I went to go work for Club Med in the Dominican Republic.
Wow.
For 3 years as their marketing manager. And I was like in it. I was like, I am going to be a traveler forever. It's going to take all hell to break loose for me to come back to Canada. And then COVID hit and all hell broke loose. and they sent us back immediately.
Literally took an unprecedented global crisis for you to.
Yeah, it literally took all of the world to close to send me back to Quebec. So I was like, I'm never going back. I'm going to stay here on the beach and just be a beach person.
Instead.
Run away from all your problems.
Yeah, they're like, bye-bye, time to go. We don't want to keep you or pay for it. You go back now.
And then you started the Kickback?
And no, I came back and then a friend of mine named Akeem, who's a really he's an amazing comedian who started in Montreal and now is in Vancouver. I had gotten him into comedy and I messaged him to hang out because I hadn't seen him in 3 years. And he came over and my roommate and I were like, you got any friends? And he was like, well, I'm going to go leave now because I got 2 of my football buddies and one of them wants to be a comic. So I'm going to dip. And I was like, why don't you just bring him over though? So we kind of booty called him to my house. And
I like where this is
but
going.
Micah was supposed to be hooked up with my roommate and I was supposed to be hooked up with my other friend. And then that just didn't happen.
Little switcheroo.
Little switcheroonies, scoonies. And then we were like homies. And we were like, he was DJing before the pandemic at little bars and stuff. And I was not doing comedy. And one day he sat me on the couch and he was like, what if before the world closes, we just throw a little comedy show and tiny little after party? I don't know. Why not? And I was like, I don't work with people I fuck, okay? And then anyways, we started it.
He twisted my arm.
Yeah, I was like, all right, it could be fun. And it was pretty much made up of our friends, our Tinder matches, and sneaky links. And it was awesome. And we donated it to BLM. And it was just 25 people in the basement of a friend's bar. And he really made it sketchy. I'm saying all of this online, but whatever. It's been 2 years.
Well, the people want to know.
The people want to know. So we went into this basement of a bar and they put garbage bags all over the windows. And we had 25 of our friends.
That does sound sketchy.
Yeah. Because it was right at the brink, right? I mean, I don't really like talking about COVID because I think it kind of makes everyone tweak out a little bit.
Yeah.
Subconsciously. It was so traumatic. But
John's Inner Freedom Convoy is going to come out if you keep going.
But
I was there, man. You weren't there.
I know I wasn't. I was just look at what's going on over there.
We spent 2 days in the trenches. It was fucked. It was fucked.
The trenches?
Literally, that's what it was like walking between the trucks. It was fucked.
Yeah, right here. Just it was casual. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, that's my
No,
bad.
I did feel
Brought
bad
up the
for you
Freedom
guys.
Convoy,
for
man.
The noise must have been really tough for people just
It
living
was
around.
minor inconvenience.
No, I feel like it was probably a big
was a
inconvenience
big
because I
inconvenience.
live behind a children's school and in front of our street being completely torn up by construction right now. And I'm pretty sure that's what hell feels like. These children howl and I don't understand.
Yeah, I feel like if someone were to die in the streets during the convoy, they would just get sent through the ground and re-land back in the convoy.
Like in the video games.
Yeah.
And
You just
maybe you land on the platform or die again. You just keep coming back up.
But yes,
Back to your story.
garbage bags on the windows.
Yes, and we put garbage bag on the windows and we had 25 people just stuffed in there. But it was still when a mask was a choice. It was you probably should, but freedom.
It's Quebec.
Yeah, it was Quebec. And so we did the show and I looked at Micah and I was like, we're only 25 people. Why don't we just buy a bottle of rum and give everyone a shot? Just warm it up a little bit. And he was like, good idea. And so we just bought a bottle and I passed out a shot. But I think I got that influence from working in a resort for 3 years that was so heavily focused on animation and human connection. We had to eat with the guests, party with the guests. We were working from 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. most nights, just literally being with people all the time. And a big part of the job was making people feel seen and remembered. So there was a lot of tactics that they put at the resort that enabled that. So they would put us at front of the restaurant and we'd have to greet everyone by name and interact with them every day. And it was something that really connected the guests to the resort.
They go back home and they're like,
that's my
Domingo
friend.
fella was really nice. I want to go back.
Yeah, like that's my friend, and they do come back
Yeah.
for you, and they remember you, and then you're their favorites, and so I feel like subconsciously I kind of took that from that experience and tried to implement it in the Kickback, and it was gonna be just like a one-off show, and then the next month our friends were like, "You gonna do it again?" And we were like, "Oh, okay, we can try." And then we found this really sketchy other venue.
Nice.
We've experimented. Honestly, our crowd has been nice to us. We've really thrown some curveballs at them a couple times. I'm like, where are we? I'm like, just trust the process.
Knock twice. The code word is raspberries.
Every
Like-
time I bring my audience to a new location, they're like, motherfucker, like, what are you doing? Oh, I told myself I wasn't gonna swear. Fuck.
Just keep walking down the alleyway. Don't stop. Trust me. You'll
Yeah,
get there.
it was just one of those things that started and it couldn't stop. And I mean, we took breaks in between lockdowns, obviously. And then we came back in April for the first time, and we did this like huge theater show. Like 500 people showed up, and we did it with my friend Norm Alcancel. I have to say his name right, Alcancel. And we pulled on this show together called Uptown Comedy, and I was like, holy crap, like people really dig this. Like they like music and they like comedy and they like the combination. And I guess this is something we can't really stop. And then it just kind of just kept going.
Kept going.
And every time we do it, we're like, are people going to buy tickets to this? And then they do. And we're like, well, look at that. Like,
No, it's
but,
a sick concept though. Like,
it's easily stupid.
yeah,
It's so annoying how easy it was. It's dumb.
that's like every good idea though. I feel
You know, like
Right.
it's one of those ideas where it's like it wasn't that hard.
yeah.
to
like-
think of.
And that's the thing, is like I'm not a genius. This isn't a new concept. This is a part of Greek culture. This is a part of a lot of cultures where you do a salute and everyone cheers, and like it's how you bring people together. So it's not like a new thing I thought of.
Yeah.
And then the other part was like everyone loves free shit. Like where
Yeah.
do you go wrong
It's
with
awesome.
that?
You walk in, you get a free shot, start off the show, and what do you say? You say like, what is that?
I say a saying that we used to do in the Dominican.
Oh,
Raise your shot glasses. We're going to bring a bit of the Montreal vibe here tonight, and I want you to repeat after me. Arriba. Abajo. Al centro. A sexo. I hope so. Cheers, everybody. Welcome to the Kickback. I keep trying to break in and come up with new sayings, but I don't know. It was
because
just,
no one knows what you're saying, and like for all we know, we're cheersing to like some fucking.
you're
morbid.
cheersing to up, down, center. Oh, I hope I have sex.
What is
Cheers.
it? That's what it is. What's the how you say
It's
it?
arriba, abajo, a centro, a sexo. I hope so.
A butthole? Is that what you said?
No, abajo. Abajo.
I could see though how people are just like, yeah, all hail Satan. Like,
Yeah, but white women just hear Spanish and they're excited. They're like, arriba, abajo.
It's awesome because you get the crowd into it too. Like you had two people come up to sing.
Yeah, that's
Well,
my
sing-
favorite. We do a game called Finish the Lyrics. So Micah plays a song and everyone starts singing along to it. And then he pauses it and you have to keep singing the song. And if you don't know the lyrics to the rest of the song, you have to take a shot. So there's just a lot of shots that go around. So it's half comedy show, half like, oops, like.
It's a good yin and yang that you guys have though, because you're the comedian, you're the host, you bring in the comics, then he's the DJ. Send the tone
He's
for the
really
music.
good though. He's really intuitive with music.
I showed up early and I was just talking to him and someone was fucking around with the lights and he's just talking to me
was
in
me.
conversation and he's just like, who keeps like mid conversation? He's like, don't fucking
it
do
was
that.
me.
I was the one fucking with the lights.
But no, it's good. What's the dynamic like between you guys when putting a show together? Because I remember asking you last night, like, what's it like moments before a show? Is there anxiety? Is it excitement?
I don't know. We work really well together. I would say like at the beginning, I'm usually a nervous wreck, to be honest. Not anymore for the Montreal show. For the Montreal show, it's kind of like, I know my system now. I know how to set up. I know the rhythm. I know what we're doing. Like we have stability, but I was definitely nervous for Ottawa, 100%. I was like, is anyone going to come to this? Like,
Do people know about this?
dude, like, not like now they do, but and after $140 in ad spend, now they do.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, how do you market it?
I mean, if we put it up, I put up an ad. I don't know, bro. I honestly, I wish I had like a whole like strategy, but I put it out, and like Tom Murphy's like my homie.
Shout out
Tom.
Shout out Tom.
That's my man. Like he spread it out to friends, and then they shared it, and then people kind of just started sharing it, or people from Montreal messaged friends in Ottawa saying like, you got to go check out this show, or like tag them on the post. So I would say in a weird way, it's a mix of like ad spend and word of mouth.
Tom, because so before this, I messaged Tom. I was like, "What are good questions? Like, what would you want to know from this interview?" And he said that like you're a very marketing forward thinking person.
Yeah.
Like, how did that come to be?
Well, I studied marketing for a little bit in Concordia before I dropped out.
Nice. Like most people at Concordia.
Yeah, like we barely go to school. Did I even pay for it, or I just show up to classes? No one really
Seems
knows.
like a fever dream.
I actually just hung out around the campus about clothing, but no, honestly, most of my marketing influence comes from Club Med as well, right? And it's kind of a mix of marketing, but it's a lot of human connection. It's a lot of community management, I would say.
So how does that look in like the comedy realm?
Different, because there's not a lot of that. Like there's not a lot of comedians who also have business sense or marketing backgrounds, and to no fault of their own, like not every comedian has studied it, you know, where I worked in it intensely in hospitality for 3 years, and I was in charge of, you know, configuring the apps and doing all the design, and I had to edit all of the videos, and so there's like content creation as well there, and kind of knowing the psychology of what's your hook on a video. How long is the attention span of someone who's watching this video? In 2022, it's 7 seconds. You better get all of your information out in 7 seconds, or they're skipping.
Yeah.
They're skipping over completely. Like it's very rare that they'll watch a whole ad.
It's funny because like we'll be like trying to figure that out like when we post our shit. I'm just like, fucking assholes, like watch for longer than 7 seconds, you fucking pigeon brains. And then I go through and I'm like scrolling through reels, and it's only 2 seconds for me.
Yeah,
like,
the
I'm
anxiety
afraid
we've all
it's gonna
developed.
get I'm afraid it's gonna get worse. Like 2025, 1 second per time. Like
10 second
yeah,
time.
like you know
just
what
got
I
a
mean?
flash in the first second.
Yeah.
Sex sells, baby.
But when we first started, there wasn't really like a marketing thing. It was just inviting friends. Like I constantly, for the first 2 years, actually up until a couple shows ago, I would message every single one of our followers personally every month, once a month, by name, so they knew I wasn't a bot, letting them know that like, yo, we're back, like would love to see you again. I made sure I remembered everyone's names and faces who came back before. So it's not really as much of like a marketing strategy as much as it is like it's just a connection and building a community.
Again, that's kind of bringing what you did in the Dominican, and just keeping it personable for people.
So I don't know if it's like more of a structure, but in terms of basic comedy marketing, it's just about knowing like your brand and your music and who you're trying to talk to.
That's crazy though, because that's like such a personal way of marketing. Does that like ever really like drain your social battery?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also like fulfilling too, because I know and I'm aware that it's very rare for there to be a comedy community that isn't filled with comedians. And it's kind of been cool to see that develop naturally over the past 2 years. Like it wasn't planned. Like this entire show has been Micah and I kind of just winging it and just wanting to treat people properly and make them feel seen, like audience alike and the comics. And I think things like that for some reason are kind of rare in our world. You know, it's so easy. It's simple.
Yeah.
Is like, what's that community like? Because, you know, the comedy community, I feel like is very cutthroat. You know what I mean? Like you have to kind of kill or be killed out there. But is there like an honor among thieves?
I think it depends from city to city, to be honest. When I first started in 2016, I think anyone in the Montreal scene would say like it was pretty rough. It was really male dominated, kind of run by the same couple dudes. There was a lot of gatekeeping that was happening in Montreal, but every city has a different dynamic, right? Like Toronto has a lot of different groups and subcultures and cliques, and Montreal just has a language division, really, right? So you have the French side and the English side, but for so long we never spoke. We never even crossed paths, and not because we weren't friends or we just didn't know each other, and we never had the opportunities to be in the same room. But on the French side, Quebec really funds French comedy, obviously. So you can make a lot of money as a comic in Quebec and as a French comic in Quebec. And when the pandemic hit, one of the nice things that happened was there was a lot of people who came together to start doing bilingual shows. So all of a sudden we all started to meet each other. And because we couldn't bring in American acts into ZooFest Just for Laughs 2 years ago, it was very heavily Canadian focused and Quebec focused and locally focused, which was nice because the French and the English finally got a chance to meet. And we were like, hey, you're pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, you're pretty fucking cool. That's pretty nice.
You're
like,
all right. You're all right.
It's like tying the blue and the red
bandanas
together.
every community has their stuff, but I think with the new generation in Montreal, and like I've said it on a lot of interviews, and I'm sure Tom has said it as well, like we started the Kickback in hopes to create a new standard for comedy and a different way of doing comedy. Like it didn't have to be snappy. It didn't have to be singular. It didn't have to be, so threatening all the time because it can be really lonely. And sometimes you just feel like you're hitting a glass ceiling somewhere. And it's like, if the marketing is right and the branding is right, money is money. And people will go where things are good and where they want to go. And if we start something cool, maybe we can put Montreal back on the map as an actual comedy city, not just a city that's hosting an international comedy festival where they barely include local acts.
Yeah, because I was thinking that like Just for Laughs is huge, and like that's what Montreal is like kind of known for when it comes to comedy. So because of that, I just thought that the scene itself was like massive. But there's only one. Good. There's only one English comedy club though. No.
Yeah. So that's exactly it, right? It's like this. It's a huge misconception, and that's why it's like people from around the world kind of feel intimidated to come to Montreal for English comedy because they're like, just for laughs, just for laughs, just for laughs. But Just for Laughs focuses a little bit more on bringing international artists in. And Montreal is more or less the host city, but they have a heavier focus on Americans than they do Canadians. And that's just straight facts. Like no one could say anything about it, and it's fine, no problem, go for it. But at the end of the day, you also realize that independent communities are also building, and with the disconnection we've had over the past 2-3 years, all people want is something that feels a little real. Like everyone's tired of the bullshit. Everyone's tired of the ads. Everyone's tired of just feeling like they're constantly being sold shit.
Yeah.
Or it's like buy tickets. But like people just want to feel seen, bro. Like
just fucking have a beer, smoke a doobie, connect, man.
Just fucking relax, dude.
Like our ancestors did.
So it's like, in that case, I know what it takes to build a brand. I can do it. I've done it. I'm going to build this brand. I'm going to build a community. And then anyone who wants to be a part of it is welcome. But Montreal has kind of become a more collaborative place with that. So I find, at least with our city, I'm super proud of our community. Like we help each other. I help Tom with his show. He helps me with mine. Like we have a group chat between a lot of the producers that's like, do you need help somewhere? Like, do you guys need help at this show? Because we know we're like 12 comedians. And if we don't produce our own shows, we're not going to get any stage time in Montreal. And we love our city. But there's one comedy club that puts on the same round of artists most of the time. Right? And they have their roster. And that's how like those big comedy clubs work. They have their roster that's signed. And then they kind of have like the same turnover. And that's their system. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there's so many talented people. And Montreal has so much grit that like now comedy clubs and more comedy shows are starting to open up, right? Like there's this new club called Third Floor that's run by Josh Shapiro on Crescent that's just popped up, and it's run by a comic. So it's like, I think we're all starting to learn that you can get a lot further being collaborative than it is competing, which I see a lot in Ottawa.
Yeah, I kind of want to get into that.
So silly.
But no, I like that though. It's like just create your own stage time. Like you guys are gonna give me enough stage time, let's just do it ourselves.
We're humble over there. We're like, listen, we're just tiny little fish in a shitty little pool. Like we're English comics in Quebec. Like nobody's got that much ego over there. Like we're just happy to be here.
In Ottawa, it's awkward too because there's the 3 main comedy clubs. You got Absolute Yucks and then the Laugh Lounge. And then I feel like even comedians coming into the city, they're like aware of the beef between them. And they're just kind of like
in the air.
They're like, which ones do I go to? Because I don't want to be like banned from one because I went to the other for literally no reason.
Listen, I don't owe nobody nothing. That is the silliest baloney.
It's fucked.
I think it's funny.
I get it. I get it. I understand. If you don't understand how the world is working now, that you might have that very old school tendency to pull back and be repressive. But imagine how much further and the acts that we could bring in town and the festivals we could all collaborate and do together if you guys weren't being such fucking donkeys. Like,
that's the thing. It's like I feel like the comedy scene would thrive better here if I don't know.
And the comics here are so talented.
There's great comics here.
But I just, as a Montrealer, I guess, like coming in, I'm coming into this cute little holiday Hallmark city, and they're like ready to fight. I'm like, first of all three of you, and you, update your branding. Your logo hasn't changed since 1980.
Why is it a platypus?
Yeah, what's up? There's
You
so
know who
many
you
people
are.
in Ottawa. There's so much talent we could do together. Like, so I guess for outsiders, like, look, I don't know. For me, I just find it silly. There's no need for it. There's so many talented people to go around and to help the Canadian comedy community grow that I just don't tolerate beef, and I don't understand it at all. Like, I'm just going to keep focusing on producing, and because everyone's focusing on the comedians and no one's focusing on the audience. The audience doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
They just want to go to a good show and have a drink and get laid after. Like, they don't care about like, don't perform at that club, or like, I'll cut you. Like, your butter knife for comedians. We make like $20 a show. Like, come on now. But again, I kind of stay out of that kind of stuff. I'm trying to build something different. I'm just trying to focus on giving a good experience and being able to pay people.
There's even like comedians that are like, oh fuck, like I did a set at Yucks the other night, but I had to be like super discreet about it. Like I couldn't post anything about it. Like I couldn't do nothing.
I'm a closeted Yucks
Yeah.
performer.
Yeah, like I'm a closeted platy.
Don't tell anyone.
But like for me, like I if I'm bringing down acts in Montreal, I'm messaging all of my other friend producers to get those comics more opportunities in that city, because there's so not everyone who can come on a Friday can come on a Saturday or can come on a Sunday. There's not like a like this tiny little group of people that are like, we will only go on Fridays. Like it's just, to me, coming from like a business marketing background, it doesn't make any sense, and you lose a lot of quality focusing on trying to fight somebody. It doesn't make any sense because no one who's actually consuming your product or buying your tickets or enjoying your show gives a shit. They're like, so can I have my Negroni Pagliato with Prosecco?
When curating a show, like what do you think is the most important thing, like the most important aspect, like the atmosphere, the comics, like the name, like the sort of brand of the comics, or like the actual comedy that happens that night?
Oh man.
And rank those.
Oh, a rank?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna rank ambiance first.
Okay.
I'm gonna rank comics second. And wait, no. Why was I gonna put this one up first? No. Fuck, that's tough. Wait, it's
atmosphere, ambience? like the ambience, the actual like content, and then the names of the comics.
Oh, easy. Atmosphere, content, comics.
Okay.
Easy peas.
You don't find that big name comics will like sell tickets, or is it
No.
more so
Like you'd rather have a show that had a great atmosphere and great comedy that, you know, less people were at, than have a lot of people with big hitters that perhaps fell short.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I've experienced it on my show. Like I've had big names on, but it comes down to me in the realization and the humbleness of the majority of people around you do not know who you are, and they do not care. They're coming to see a comedy show. Then they meet you, then they get to know you, then they start following you, and that's how you start growing.
Yeah.
But a big mistake that a lot of people make a lot of the time, in my eyes anyways, is that there's such a heavy focus on the name and not a heavy enough focus on the experience, that if you've booked a big name but your demographic is not there with them, you're not doing anybody justice. You're not doing your comic any justice. You're not putting them with the right set of people, and you're not doing your audience any justice, because you could put all the effort you want, you can charge as many tickets as you want, but if the operations aren't in line and the people aren't meshing, then it doesn't work. Whereas I can get a 2-year comic who does great crowd work, and I know that my audience is a young audience and they don't have an attention span and they love being spoken to. they're going to have a much better time. And now I've helped another comedian grow. But I like also the aspect of having a big name be able to come on and having them meet other names that are up and coming and building bridges, not so much like only big names and such a heavy focus. Because if you only focus on the names, you're assuming that all of these people know who that person is. And they don't. There's a lot of American comics who are huge and they come here and everyone's like,
Yeah. Because it's only like the comedy nerds that know, like for instance, like you mentioned Just for Laughs, like Rosebud Baker was one of the acts.
I love Rosebud Baker.
And I fucking got legit starstruck the second I saw her.
She's
like,
beautiful.
It was so funny. We were standing outside. He's like, should I say hi? I was like, I don't know, man. Like, you do you. He's like, I don't fucking know.
Wait,
like,
you guys were there this year?
Yeah.
The Montreal one?
Yeah. I didn't see her show though, because we were at a different show that like overlapped hers.
Were you guys like in the building?
It was above like a transgender strip club.
Yeah.
Oh, Cleopatra's.
Yeah.
I
Great
love that.
buffet.
Yeah, that's where. And then we saw like some show that was hosted by Big J Okerson and Jimmy Carr
Yo,
pulled up.
I hung out with Big J all week. I
Really?
love
That's
that
sick.
guy. He is the most down to earth
Yeah,
person.
he seems.
What's he like? Because I saw him
He
smoking.
smoked like.
He had a cigarette and a joint in his hands, like a cigarette.
Oh, I might
here,
have been with him that. No, well, that was like every day. That's the thing. At Just for Laughs, everyone. I love Just for Laughs this year because it was so funny for me. Like everyone was just kind of like meshed up together. But once you're in it, like I was in a tiny little show. I was in 2 shows on Just for Laughs this year. I was on the Low Key Comedy show, which was really fun. And I was also on Haute Couture, which was super fun on top of Cafe Cleopatra.
Okay.
But we all got the same pass. So we were all out in the hotel. Everyone's allowed to meet agents and they have like all these really cool workshops that you can go to and panels. You can go listen to podcasts like inside the hotel and everyone kind of just meets each other and starts talking. So you end up meeting all these people, but what people don't realize is that you're putting a bunch of socially awkward people in one room and then just like giving them liquor.
So it's like it's a good like networking event too. Like, just laughs, like
it's super fun. But I think like more Americans come down, so like they know who everyone is. Where again, as Canadians, as a Montreal, you're just like, hi.
Yeah.
Have you ever had mushrooms? Like,
Do you have those where you're from?
you know how many comedians? I was like, you get a mush, you get a mush, you get a mush. Welcome to Montreal, baby. And they were like, who is this? I'm like, you'll never know.
I didn't even know what Just for Laughs were. Like we were there when I was walking around. I thought it was just one big comedy show where they just gave people a bunch of sets. It was just one night type of thing.
it's like a full month.
Oh, there's
long.
so many.
It's crazy.
It was so fun. I love Just for Laughs this year. And they had this big after party downtown where all the comedians were like big names, small names, whatever. And then there was just me in this little disco looking hippie outfit, clearly just sticking out like a sore thumb, running around to everyone, just being like, you want a shot? You want a shot? Yo, do you do shots like not knowing who they are?
Like not from you. I don't know what's in that.
No, they were like, what the fuck is this shit? And there was one guy who opened for Kevin Hart. And I looked at him and I was like, what shows were you on this festival? And he was like, oh, the Bell Center. And I was like, me, Cafe Cleopatra.
That's
I
fucking
like how you
hilarious.
said there's like a bunch of socially awkward people in a room together trying to network. Like,
Well, trying to network, but also there's a lot of people who don't want to be spoken to too because they don't want to be sucked up. Like they're like, please don't
Right.
suck up to me. Like I'm just trying to chill or whatever. But luckily for my dumbass, like I didn't really, I knew who some people were, but that's just not in our DNA to care. I guess I'm just like, are you nice?
Yeah, are you
Like,
a good
are you
per-
cool?
Yeah.
Are you chill?
it's like I always like think like, how are you supposed to talk to a comedian? Because when I approach a comedian, I'm just like, I gotta bring some fucking material to this conversation. I gotta try and make him laugh the whole time. And then it's just
No.
like same thing with Rosebud. I literally froze and I was just like, I don't even know if I want to go up to her because like I don't know what I'm gonna say. And be
I'm
like,
not funny.
I'm just gonna
I'm
look
like,
at
hi
her.
Rose, I love you.
Farts and runs away.
It was a blast, but it's all about the hang. Like people say it's all about the hang. It is 100% about the hang. Like, and I think the more unpushy you are, the better opportunities you get. But for me, it was socially interesting because I think Canadian culture versus American culture, especially in entertainment, there's a lot more hunger on the American side when it comes to networking. Like they're very like, how are you, sir? This is my name, whatever, whatever. Montrealers naturally, we're just like, we'll meet anyone on the street and we'll take them home for dinner, you know?
Right.
Like, so I kind of went into it with that. And then also a lot of these agents, they're wonderful people, but they're working just as hard as anyone at the bottom of any food chain. So I think sometimes they get attacked by comics being like, give me this opportunity because they work for UTA, which I read on a badge and thought it was Utah. I fucked up so much.
Misspell Utah? What is that? I don't know.
No, I was just like, hi, sir. What's your Mario? What's Utah? And he's like, United Talent Agency. I was like, cute. But I mean, they were super nice. And then you get to know them as people and you're like, yeah, man, my boss like just gets on me and I get screamed at all the time. But they come here in Montreal and everyone's like, ooh, big agent from LA.
Right.
And you really see like the misconception of perception that people have of you. Like no one knew who I was, but they were taking alcohol from me. Because I went in with confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's like an interesting art form though, like to see like how you like slowly step up the ladder. Is it like are comedians trying to find agents, or they're just like, fuck it, give me stage time? And
I don't know. Like I said, for the majority of us, we're just happy to be here. I'm
Yeah.
like, I get a drink ticket. Amazing. Like I'll take a like some people like I think people have split experiences about that though.
Like-
I'll take a drink ticket and I'll take $150. Like I'm like, oh.
yeah, like what's the leveling up? Is it start with like a drink ticket, then you get like a free pound of wings for doing a set, and then after that it's like, oh, we'll give you $50.
Wings would be nice. If someone gave me wings, I'd be like, Mother Mary, thank you.
I would totally get paid in wings to do comedy.
Yeah, I mean, but it depends on like, I respect anyone who has their boundaries and respects their boundaries as artists. I'm really not one of those people that's like, I believe that you should say this or not say this or whatever. Whatever brings you peace, and if it's working for you and you have your demographic, like God love you. Like I don't really fuck with like telling people what to do in terms of that. But I forgot what I was gonna say. Where were we?
I wasn't even listening.
I'm fucking stoned, man.
I'm sitting here. I'm like,
I feel like I'm talking
I'm
a
literally
lot.
just-
Can we
I
cut
was-
this part out. I'm fucking like.
I was listening and then I just realized I was staring at the Men in Black fucking movie cover there.
What was the question?
Oh,
I think we were talking about chicken wings.
no, I want to know something. How do you
the level of pay, right?
how do you like how are you able to smoke inside at your shows in Montreal?
Oh yeah, do we even mention? Okay, the kickback is bring your own weed, bring your own beer.
Yeah, how
which
do
is-
you smoke inside? Because I want that.
Well, the first thing you have to do is you have to rent it as a private event.
Okay.
So when you rent it as a private event and there's proper ventilation in the building, so we kind of rent this like warehouse with all the proper exits. So we rent it as a private event, and then when you rent it as a private event, that kind of gives you the like good to
Leeway?
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like kind of the gray areas. I'm fucking myself.
Okay.
That's sick.
Because I would love to see that in Ottawa. Because like
Me too.
we weren't able to smoke inside at the lounge. but
No,
that
no.
would be crazy.
I'm gonna
Nothing's
talk to them
better.
about that.
Nothing is better than smoking inside.
In the winter too.
Do you smoke on stage at the shows?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like doing comedy high?
Well, I don't like doing podcasts high anymore.
I'm on that fence too, man. I'm on that fence too.
That would have been awesome if you guys like turkeyed it.
There were so many adjustments there, bro. That was crazy. That was uncoordinated as
Everyone's
fuck.
like, these people suck. Anyways, pay me
Can
this
you smoke
thing.
cigarettes inside?
No.
It's just weed.
No. Yeah. No. Gross.
No tar boxing. That's gross.
I don't know. The cigarettes is a little bit different. Like, I don't need to feel like I'm coming back from a fucking nightclub.
Yeah.
Or straight facts strip club that you guys have here.
Bare facts. It's
Bare facts.
You come to my city, you get the name of the strip
I
club wrong.
gotta go. I think I'm gonna go like tomorrow. Do they have wings?
Sunday night.
Yeah.
Go for football. Go for football.
I think it'd be hilarious one time to go for like a Sunday football, like catch the ones, like the 1 o'clock games, and get brunch at the
I
strip
thought you
club.
meant like the ones out of 10.
Well, I'm assuming that would be up at 1 o'clock on a Sunday.
You get the nooners, you get the oneers.
I wanted to ask you though, just like the whole thing with, because you hear a lot of people be like, oh, like female comedians aren't funny. Like, I just don't fuck with female comedians. It's
I
just
bet
like,
they don't fuck women either.
but it's just like, it's the same like thing the whole time where it's like people are like, oh, I don't like female comedians because like they just talk about their vagina the whole time, but then they'll go watch fucking Chris D'Elia talk about like his fucking balls and shit.
What does that tell you about Chris D'Elia's demographic?
That was a bad example.
Those are the same guys that are making pedophile jokes. Just saying, those are the same people making pedophile jokes.
Do you ever feel like you're like put back at it, like you're starting from a distance further back as a woman in comedy?
No,
Not
so far. Like, I don't know. I see it happen. I'm not sure if I've experienced that yet, and I think that's because I've kind of come in from a producer angle, and but I have seen it happen. Like, I've had people come up to me all the time and be like, I don't usually find women funny, but you you are funny. Like, and I try to give that some grace sometimes, because I do think that sometimes they mean well. Like,
Yeah.
like
it's just
it's
a
clear, like,
backhanded compliment.
it's not like, no, it's just they're just not like, they thought their brain was like, yeah, say that. You know who's gonna love this? Her. So, I've had moments where, depending on the person, like I've had someone who's not great in English or from another like foreign country, who in their culture I have to understand, like, maybe that's a part of their culture, and they're actually, from their perspective, genuinely trying to give me a compliment, like Greek people, like like my people, like my family specifically, like my dad.
This one's hitting close to home. Sorry for asking.
Like my grandmother's, I don't like women, love you. But yeah, like I've had it happen to me, and depending on the person too, it's like you just chirp them. Most of the time, the chirps go right over their head too, which is even more satisfying for me. But I guess like when you hear that, I'm just like, okay,
Yeah.
how's World of Warcraft going when you're 38?
Fucking incel.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, to each its own. If you don't find women funny, like that's cool. Good on you. Just keep watching.
Chris D'Elia. I know you. I said it.
Man, that sucks. I used to freaking
I was a
love
fan.
Chris.
He was
D'Elia.
funny, man. He was funny.
And then he just had to go do that, and I'm like,
Yeah.
come on. I love the drunk girl joke. Like, I love the
Can't
kids
hear it
joke.
the same way now.
No.
You're just like,
Yeah. Now I'm like, damn.
Yeah, it's tough.
Fucking Chris.
Does your family like your comedy?
Yeah. I don't show them a lot. I actually block them from a lot of my videos because it's weird. Like, I'm 29 years old and I'm still afraid of swearing in front of my parents, but I will go online and be like, and then regret it completely. But my mom will still hit me if I swear in front of her. Like, I said fuck once and I felt my body just kind of retreat. And she just looked at me and she's like, what the fuck did you just say? And I was like, fudge. And then she hit me. I'm like a 29-year-old woman. She spanked me across the head. It's like, don't fucking swear in my fucking house.
I had to block my nunna from our Down with the Wire
I was
account.
thinking about this the
Because
other
we did
day.
a hot dog eating competition, and for the promo picture, I unzipped my pants and I put a hot dog like in the zipper hole. And then she sent me a fucking brick of a paragraph text, just displaying her disappointment in me for posting that. And I was like,
She said, I did not like that.
And they don't. And in their
No.
world, what you did was despicable.
almost got disowned. Like, it was that. No, not really.
I mean,
but-
mine never really liked me in the first place. She's like, this one, she's not Greek.
black
What
sheep.
happened? Yeah, literally. Why is this one brown? Something's not like the other. But yeah, man, I don't know. My family's also a huge inspiration for my comedy as well. It's like,
That's true.
just wild Greek people who had the most ridiculous upbringing. Like, I just figured out we were the weird neighbors. Like, all those years of my mom being like, the Morellis are fucking Nats. And I'm like, they seem like a really quaint family. And then we have this like unfinished Christmas cabin that's been there since March that has not gone away. We got a letter from Santa Claus asking us to remove this cabin my dad tried to build in front of our house to make like a Santa's treehouse. But he kind of gave up on the project halfway. So it just looked like a homeless shelter. And like someone was squatting on our front yard. And we got a letter from our neighbors being like, Santa would really love if you tore that down. And my mom was like, they're fucking crazy. I'm like, you're right. Like,
I was just talking about.
you're right, mommy.
I was just talking about like this wedding I went to, and it was my cousin's wedding, and like I don't realize how fucking insane Italians are until I tell like people like this guy, just fucking purebred, just British white, about like Italian.
Hey, I'm a little Dutch too.
And I'm just like, yeah, like
Of course you are, Ellen.
I'm just like, yeah, Italian weddings, like you all hang out afterwards the wedding and you just fucking shit on everyone else in the family and just talk about all the like little things that they didn't do correctly throughout the whole night. Like there wasn't any fucking cold cuts after the church. Like that's a huge deal.
Worst like Yelp reviews are on weddings by their own family members. Just be like, the filet mignon was crap. And they're like, those mashed potatoes and gravy were and then the old people just like steal all like the bonbonnières on the table and they like take the plants home to, like,
What do you need that for?
just to have it, because we grew up in so much poverty that they're like epigenics are like, you need to steal this plant in case you have to build an inside garden.
I have an uncle who's straight from Italy. He was born there and then he moved here when he married my aunt. And I remember we were at Canada's Wonderland and I was eating a burger and there was like this much left, like one bite left of my burger, and I wrapped it up and threw it out, and he pulled me aside and fucking got very disappointed with me for throwing food out. He was like, someone could have ate that.
You wrapped that up in a napkin,
Yeah.
you put that in your pocket.
That's how I became a fat ass kid. Okay, I was a fat kid. Oh my god! Oh, they let me eat everything and they got mad at me for it at the same time. I was like, pick one, pick one,
dude.
pick one, bro. They'd be like, Vagelitza, eat this spaghetti. It's okay. Gaga made it. It's healthy. It's like 8 pounds of cheese, all of the meat, all of the butter, all of the fat. And she's like, it's okay. Gaga made it. No fattening when it comes from my hands. Like, that's not true at all. And then she's like, you need to look more like your sister. You have better personality though. And I'm like, tell me I'm fat without telling me I'm fat. Like, your sister is so pretty. You much nicer.
Oh fuck, dude. That's good.
Well, my grandma's ruthless woman. She asked for she told me a story like last week about how she went to the hairdresser and asked for a blowjob and everyone was laughing at her. And she couldn't understand why everyone was laughing at her because she just wanted to get a wash and a blow dry. But she walked in, this like 87-year-old woman be like, can I have blowjob? She's like, everybody laugh at me. I don't know.
Why? I don't know what. Because I need it. I need it. Blow. Jab.
Long story short, she's not regular. She loves that place.
She knew it. She's like, I'm asking for the secret menu.
So you don't mess with the Zohan.
If you saw my grandmother, they're not far off looking.
Your grandma looks like the Zohan.
Yeah, naked, yes.
Adam Sandler.
I wanted to also like we're gonna wrap things up here shortly, but
Yeah, I didn't give any advice.
how
on
do you
this.
how do you like combat, like not combat, but like how are you balancing out like being a comedian and then also hosting and producing a show, making sure that goes
Does
well?
it stress you out? Tom said it stressed him to fuck
Because
out.
yeah, we asked him the same thing because he's a
Yeah.
comedian that runs a show, and it's like, do you even
Tom's
like running
also-
your own shows? And he's like, it's so fucking stressful, man. Like I'd rather be a comedian going to some random show. Like I don't have to worry about anything. And he's like, now when I'm a comedian and I'm at his show and they're having like technical issues, I start like giggling a bit. I'm like, yeah, fuck you. I don't have to deal with that shit.
I don't know. But Tom, I hope he brings it back this summer because it's such a good show too.
It
And
is.
like,
Yeah.
it meant a lot to me that he said that the Kickback was a big inspiration for his show.
He said that here.
Oh,
He said that here on this
Yeah.
podcast.
and for me that's all I ever really wanted to do with the Kickback. And I think it's just about what you want to do in comedy and how you want to do it. So like Tom wants to be a comedian, right? I want to work in comedy in whatever capacity comedy will have me in my life, you know? So I've always known that I wanted to be a provider of opportunities and I wanted to build something and help people. And so for me, sometimes just being a singular comedian doesn't serve that part of me. So like I personally don't have a horrible time with it. I love doing both because I can both get opportunities and I can provide opportunities and build a platform and hopefully more shows start popping up. So I don't really have a problem with it. I get excited. I get stressed out. I was feeling kind of bummed out 2 days ago when we had like 3 tickets and I was like, I am a fucking loser. I cannot believe I thought I could take this show to another city.
It's like when you're having a party and you're having a party and it's 11 o'clock and no one's there yet. And you're just like, oh God, no one. It's just going to be us guys.
Yeah, no, the imposter syndrome like definitely comes in sometimes. And like, I think what I struggle with more in all transparency is like figuring out how to expand without losing quality and like the intimacy. And I have trouble with that, like trying to navigate that because
it's the atmosphere, right?
Yeah, I'm like, oh
the
man,
most important thing.
Yeah, I'm like, if I go too big or if I feel like I'm just chasing money, then I'm gonna lose that connection, or I'm scared to lose that connection. But my venue just upped their price on me, so now I have to up my ticket price. And I'm like, can my kids afford $35? But if I can't charge $35, I can't keep that venue, and then we can't do what we do in there. And it's kind of this thing I struggle with, where it's like, okay, I know I can scale up for money and money is great, but am I doing this for money? No, not really.
I think when you have a bring your own weed and bring your own beer policy, it's just, you're just doing it to have a good time.
No, but I believe in the brand and I know money will come, and I know and there's other ways we can expand and we can grow. But for me to do that right now, I don't find it necessary, because then that just feels money hungry.
Yeah.
Whereas if I properly explain to my audience, like, my costs kind of went up, are you guys cool with this? Most of the time they appreciate that, and they don't feel like you're just trying to be like, oh, we got more popular, so like we're gonna jack up the price now. And we always have like our student discounts still and stuff like that. But no, I haven't really had an issue with it. I love it. Like, I love seeing people be happy, and now I love seeing the audience get on stage. That's like, that's so cool.
No, it's cool to see, because you're like just strengthening the culture. Like, you're building a whole new like branch of comedy almost, and it's just the Kickback is its own thing. Like, you're introducing, like you said, like you'll bring a big name but like surround them with a bunch of low-key comedians just to help strengthen the community and build it up. So it's awesome to just see from, because I've been seeing it from
man. You're a good guy.
Thanks, man.
You're a good fucking guy.
It's been cool to watch for a distance, and like to see that you brought it to Ottawa now is like sick. I have to show up, and I hope you do it again.
I hope so too. I appreciate that everyone came out, that they were so nice, that people actually came and played the game, because when I asked for volunteers, no one raised their hand. I was like,
one girl stood up though. She was like, I volunteer. Like, it was fucking Hunger Games.
Like, easy, Katniss. Easy.
But any final remarks? You want to let the people know anything about the Kickback, about you, about your grandma?
You could wish them Merry Christmas too, because that's coming soon.
Merry Chrysler. No. Well, you can follow us on kickback.mtl on Instagram, or myself, Eva Alexo Comedy. If you want to check out the DJ Micah, it's _this is Micah. This feels so promotional. Glock. But we're having, I don't know when this is airing, but our next show is November 26th in Montreal. And other than that, thanks for having me, Ottawa. I wish Micah could be here, but I know on behalf of both of us, the Kickback is
next
pretty
time
grateful.
you guys do a Kickback in Ottawa, we'll run it all 4 of us.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun. He has a good radio voice. I'm kind of jealous.
It's a good radio voice.
Yeah, when he speaks, I'm like, wow. And then I speak, and it's like,
that is actually what I've heard for the past 40, 50 minutes. Is there a bird in here? I don't know.
That's not true. Oh. It's a stripper voice.
Thanks for coming on the show. Shout out to the Kickback. Great event.
Shout out to my boys from Down on the Wire. Down to the wire.
Don't worry.
Let me do that one again.
It's okay.
You're high.
Yeah,
Sorry.
It's cool.
Yo, Ottawa cannabis stores, man, they get me. Such good weed here.
Ottawa's a stoner city, man. We bring it.
On every corner.
We bring it.
On every corner, you guys bring it.
And then a dentist's office and dispensaries everywhere. And shawarmas.
Yeah.
The 3 pillars of Ottawa's tourism economy.
I've said it once, and I'll say it again. This is my closing argument. Ottawa is one of the best cities in Canada. I said it. I said it.
Mic drop.
I said it. Fight me. Fight me.
That's coming from someone from Montreal too. That's big.
I love Montreal, but I love Ottawa too.